Pain feels physical. It feels direct, real, and sometimes overwhelming. But according to The Brain and Pain by Richard Ambron, pain is not just something that happens in the body, it is a story created and interpreted by the brain. The signals may begin in the body, but the experience of pain is shaped, adjusted, and sometimes amplified inside our minds. In this audiobook summary, we will explore how the brain produces pain, why we can sometimes feel pain without a clear injury, and how emotions like stress and anxiety can make pain stronger. This journey into neuroscience shows us something powerful: pain is not always a fixed condition. It is an experience influenced by perception, memory, emotion, and awareness. The book explains that the brain's main job is protection. When it senses danger, it creates pain to warn us. But sometimes, this protective system becomes too sensitive. It may continue sending pain signals even after the body has healed. Understanding this process gives us hope, because it means pain can be influenced and reduced. Throughout these chapters, we will break down complex neuroscience into simple ideas. You will discover how the brain decides what is a threat, how fear can increase pain, and how calmness can reduce it. You will also learn practical strategies that help retrain the brain and restore balance. If you enjoy audiobook summaries that explain science in a simple and practical way, and help you understand your body and mind better, make sure to follow and support this content. Now, let us begin our journey into the fascinating connection between the brain and pain. Chapter 1. What is pain really? Pain feels simple. You touch something hot, and it hurts. You fall, and your knee aches. It seems clear that pain comes directly from the body. But science shows us something deeper. Pain is not just signals traveling through nerves. It is a decision made by the brain. The nerves send information, but the brain studies that information and decides whether to create the experience of pain. Inside your body, tiny sensors collect data about temperature, pressure, and possible injury. These sensors send messages to the brain. But those messages do not say, "This is pain." They simply say, "Something is happening." The brain then asks an important question: is this dangerous? If the brain believes there is a threat, it produces pain to protect you. Pain, in this way, is a protective alarm. The brain is always working to keep you safe. It compares the incoming signals with past experiences, memories, and current emotions. If you once burned your hand on a stove, your brain will react quickly the next time you get close to heat. If you are stressed or anxious, your brain may become even more alert. It may treat small signals as bigger threats. This is how it decides when something is dangerous enough to hurt. This also explains why two people can feel the same injury differently. One person may feel strong pain, while another feels only mild discomfort. The difference is not always in the body. It is often in the brain. Past experiences, personality, mood, culture, and expectations all shape how the brain interprets signals. Pain is personal because every brain is unique. Pain is not only physical. It is also emotional. When you feel pain, you may also feel fear, frustration, or sadness. This is because the brain areas that process physical pain are closely connected to those that process emotions. That is why emotional stress can increase physical pain, and why comfort and reassurance can reduce it. Pain is both a body experience and a feeling experience at the same time. Understanding this changes how we see pain. It is not just in your head, but it is created in your head. It is real, but it is also influenced by many factors. When we understand that pain is a sensory and emotional experience shaped by the brain, we begin to see that it is not fixed. It can change. And that understanding is the first step toward gaining control over it. Chapter 2: How the Brain Increases or Decreases Pain. Pain does not stay at the same level all the time. It can grow stronger, or it can become softer. One of the main reasons for this change is the brain. The brain controls the volume of pain, much like a remote control adjusts the sound on a television. When we feel calm and safe, the volume can go down. When we feel afraid or anxious, the volume can quickly go up. Fear and anxiety make the brain more alert. When the brain senses danger, even emotional danger, it becomes protective. It watches the body more closely and reacts more strongly to signals. Small sensations that would normally be ignored may suddenly feel painful. This is because the brain believes it must protect you from harm. In moments of stress, it would rather overreact than miss a possible threat. Scientists describe something called the pain gate. This is not a real door, but a system in the nervous system that controls how many pain signals reach the brain. When the gate is open wide, more signals pass through, and pain feels stronger. When the gate is more closed, fewer signals reach awareness, and pain feels lighter. Thoughts, emotions, and attention all influence how open or closed this gate becomes. This is why reassurance and calmness help reduce pain. When you feel safe, the brain relaxes. It no longer sees the situation as dangerous. The pain gate begins to close, and the sensation becomes less intense. Even simple actions like slow breathing, gentle words, or feeling supported can send powerful safety signals to the brain. It is also important to understand the difference between physical injury and brain-generated pain. Physical pain begins with tissue damage, such as a cut or a sprain. Brain-generated pain, however, can continue even after the body has healed. In this case, the brain has learned to stay on high alert. The pain is real, but it is no longer a sign of ongoing damage. When we understand that the brain can both increase and decrease pain, we gain hope. We are not powerless. By reducing fear, calming the mind, and creating feelings of safety, we help the brain lower the volume. Pain may still exist, but it no longer controls us in the same way. The brain that creates pain also holds the ability to soften it. Chapter 3: How Pain Becomes Chronic. Sometimes pain does not go away after the body heals. A small injury turns into months, or even years, of suffering. This is what we call chronic pain. It is confusing and frustrating because the original damage may no longer be there. To understand this, we must look at how the nervous system changes over time. One important idea is called nerve sensitivity. When pain signals are sent again and again, the nerves become more sensitive. They start reacting faster and more strongly, even to small signals. It is like a car alarm that becomes too sensitive and goes off with the slightest touch. The system that was designed to protect you becomes overactive. The brain also plays a powerful role in this process. The brain is flexible. It can learn and change. This is called neuroplasticity. But sometimes it learns the wrong lesson. If pain continues for a long time, the brain may reprogram itself to expect pain. It builds strong pathways that make it easier to send pain signals, even when the body is safe. The brain, trying to protect you, accidentally keeps the pain alive. This is why a simple injury can turn into long-term suffering. At first, the pain is a warning about real damage. But later, the warning system stays turned on. The body may be healed, yet the nervous system still acts as if danger is present. The alarm keeps ringing, even though the fire is gone. Emotional memory also has a strong influence. The brain connects pain with feelings, places, and past experiences. If someone once had a painful injury during a stressful time, the emotional memory can strengthen the pain response. Fear, sadness, or trauma from the past can make the brain more sensitive in the present. The pain is not imagined, it is deeply connected to memory and emotion. Understanding chronic pain gives us hope. If the brain can learn pain, it can also learn safety. The same neuroplasticity that created the problem can help solve it. By calming the nervous system, reducing fear, and creating new positive experiences, we slowly teach the brain that it is safe again. Chronic pain is not a life sentence. It is a learned pattern, and learned patterns can change. Before we continue this audiobook, don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe. Chapter 4: The Connection Between Pain and Emotions. Pain is not only a physical experience. It is deeply connected to our emotions. The same brain areas that process physical pain also process feelings like fear, sadness, and stress. This means that when our emotional state changes, our experience of pain can change as well. The body and the mind are not separate systems, they work together all the time. Anxiety and stress have a strong effect on pain circuits in the brain. When we are anxious, the brain becomes alert and watchful. It looks for danger everywhere, including inside the body. This heightened awareness makes pain signals feel stronger. Stress hormones also increase tension in the muscles and sensitivity in the nerves, which can make discomfort worse. In this way, emotional stress can quietly turn up the volume of pain. Depression can also affect how we experience pain. When someone feels hopeless or emotionally drained, the brain's natural pain relief systems may not work as well. Chemicals that normally help reduce pain become less active. As a result, pain can feel heavier and harder to manage. Emotional suffering and physical suffering often strengthen each other in a cycle. Pain often increases when a person becomes afraid of it. Fear tells the brain that the pain is dangerous. The brain responds by becoming even more protective, sending stronger signals and tightening the body. Muscles tense, breathing becomes shallow, and attention focuses fully on the discomfort. The more we fear the pain, the more attention and energy the brain gives to it. The brain also learns to connect pain with emotional states. If someone experiences pain during a stressful time, the brain may link the two experiences together. Later, even mild stress can trigger stronger pain. This is why headaches may appear during emotional pressure, or stomach pain may worsen during worry. These are examples of psychosomatic pain, real physical pain influenced by emotional factors. Understanding this connection gives us power. It shows us that caring for our emotions is also caring for our bodies. When we calm anxiety, reduce stress, and treat depression, we are not only helping our mental health, we are helping reduce pain. The brain responds to safety, kindness, and emotional balance. By healing the mind, we gently begin to ease the body as well. Chapter 5: Reducing Pain Without Medication. Pain can feel overwhelming, especially when it lasts for a long time. Many people believe that medicine is the only answer. But modern neuroscience shows us something hopeful: the brain can be trained. Because pain is created and interpreted in the brain, we can gently teach the brain to calm down and reduce unnecessary signals. One powerful method is retraining the brain to ignore extra warning signals. When the nervous system becomes too sensitive, it reacts to normal sensations as if they're dangerous. By slowly exposing ourselves to safe movement and normal activities, we send a new message to the brain: this is not a threat. Over time, the brain begins to lower its alarm system. This process requires patience, but it is supported by science. Deep breathing is another simple and effective tool. When we breathe slowly and deeply, we activate the body's relaxation system. This reduces stress hormones and calms the nervous system. As the body relaxes, muscle tension decreases and pain signals often become weaker. Just a few minutes of slow breathing each day can help teach the brain that it is safe. Mindfulness also plays an important role. Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment without fear or judgment. Instead of fighting the pain or worrying about it, we observe it calmly. This changes how the brain processes the sensation. Studies show that when people practice mindfulness, the brain areas related to fear become less active, and the experience of pain becomes less intense. Movement and physical activity are also essential. When we move gently and regularly, we improve blood flow, reduce stiffness, and release natural chemicals that reduce pain. Exercise also strengthens the brain's ability to control pain signals. Even simple walking, stretching, or light exercises can make a real difference over time. Finally, understanding how pain works is healing by itself. When we learn that pain does not always mean damage, fear begins to decrease. Knowledge reduces anxiety, and less anxiety means less pain. Neuroscience teaches us that pain is not fixed, it can change. With calm breathing, mindful awareness, gentle movement, and clear understanding, we can slowly take back control and reduce pain naturally. Pain is not truly an enemy. It is a smart signal sent by the brain to tell us that something needs attention. Sometimes it warns us about injury. Other times, it reflects stress, fear, or emotional pressure. When we stop seeing pain as a threat and begin seeing it as information, something changes inside us. We move from fear to understanding. As we learn throughout this book, the brain plays the main role in creating and shaping pain. It decides how strong the signal feels. It can increase it during fear, or calm it during safety. When we understand how the brain works, we no longer feel helpless. Knowledge removes confusion, and clarity reduces fear. And when fear becomes smaller, pain often becomes softer. Science now shows us that the path to relief begins from within. Our thoughts, emotions, breathing, and daily habits all influence how the brain processes pain. By calming the nervous system, practicing awareness, and building healthy routines, we gently guide the brain toward balance. Step by step, we regain a sense of control. Pain is not a fixed destiny. It is a living experience shaped by the brain, and the brain can change. With patience, understanding, and steady practice, relief becomes possible. When we change the way we see pain, we begin to change the way we feel it. And that is where true healing begins.